Okay, our notes 10 to 2 are nice and short, just this one page of 6 problems. And so the important thing to note when we're dividing radicals and simplifying is that you cannot ever have a square root in the denominator. So sometimes, like this one, 21 goes into 3, so they're like terms, they're both radicals. We just do 21 divided by 3, and we get our answer is 7. Square root of 7, they divide perfectly. 21 divided by 3, equals 7. Other times we have this, where it's 15 divided by 2. 15 does not divide evenly by 2, and we don't deal with decimals ever when we're doing simplifying radicals. And so our rule is we cannot leave the root 2 in the denominator. So the way we simplify this is we multiply it by a factor of 1, which would be root 2 over root 2. So you always multiply by the number that is in the denominator, by the radical that is in the denominator, because then that cancels out. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 equals the whole number 2. We could write it as square root of 4 first, which equals the whole number 2. And then square root of 15 times 2 is just square root of 30. And that's our final answer. We need to double check. Does 30 simplify? It goes to 3 and 10, 2 and 5. Can't simplify 30. And so we just do the step we can do, which is get that radical out of the denominator. It cannot stay there. We have to go through the step of multiplying to move the radical up to the numerator. Alright, and then our next one, we check, and again, just like in multiplying, you first of all divide your whole numbers. So 8 divided by 4 just gives me a 2 over 1. 12 divided by 2, it does divide. That gives me square root of 6, and then over square root of 1, which just cancels out. And I don't need the 1 there anymore, so then my final answer is just 2 root 6. Next one. Okay, I can't divide these. 12 does divide by 2, but 12 is a whole number. 2 is a radical. I can't divide those evenly, so I have to do the steps of simplifying first by multiplying by root 2 over root 2. So then this gives me 12 root 2. Again, they're not like terms, so I cannot actually multiply them. I just join them together over whole number 2. Now I double check, and I have 12, whole number 12 divided by 2, and so that does let me simplify to 6 root 2. Alright, next this is written differently. It's just a large square root symbol, which is the same thing as we did in example 1. 3 does not divide by 7, so instead I do 3/7 times root 7 over root 7, which gives me root 21 over whole number 7, and that's my final answer. 21 can't simplify, it's just 3 times 7. And then last of all, root 5 over root 11. They do not divide into each other, so I multiply times root 11 over root 11 to get root 55 over whole number 11. And I am finished.